Hi, and here we are with Module 3's assignment. Remember when you're completing your assignments that you always use pencil, an eraser, and a ruler. Write as neatly as you can, and we're aiming for quality rather than quantity. I'm looking for really accurate, well-written work. If you have any questions, just let me know. You can phone me or you can email me. Your first assignments are on page 22 and page 23. And we're working with enharmonic notes. Remember that enharmonic notes have the same sound but a different name. So for example, E to F flat is an enharmonic note. You would play it on the same spot on the piano and it sounds the same, but it has a different name. On page 22, what you're doing is you're naming your enharmonic notes, and then you're going to draw a line from each note to its proper place on the keyboard. Remember, when you're naming the notes, you write the letter and then the accidental. Okay? When we write notes, we write the accidental and the note. When you write the letter and accidental, so it's like law. Letter accidental and an accidental note. Number 14, using the letter name that comes after the given note, write the note that is enharmonic to it. So in our example, we have an A sharp. We need to go up one note name, which is B, so that would have to be B flat for it to be an enharmonic note. Take a look on page 23, number 15. Using the letter name that comes before each given note, write the note that's enharmonic to it, and of course name the notes. Our first note is B flat. We need the letter name that comes before B, which is going to be A. And then we have to find the note that's an enharmonic twin to B flat, and that would be A sharp. A sharp and B flat are the same notes. Number 16 is next, and here you're going to find 5 pairs of enharmonic notes. You can draw a keyboard to use, or you can even use the piano to find these. Let's move on to page 24. Here you're going to name each note, including the proper accidentals, and then circle each pair of enharmonic notes. And there's 4 of them. Be careful in the last line. Do you see we have an A flat in the bass clef? The next note is also A flat, isn't it? Because your accidental carries for the whole measure. Number 18 says write a note that is enharmonic to each of the following. Name the notes. In this case, you can decide whether you're going to use a note name that's higher or lower. It's totally up to you. It's always a good idea to play these on the piano after you've done them. It's a really good way to double check your work. On page 26, number 20, you're going to write a diatonic semitone below each note. A diatonic semitone is going to have a different letter name. And remember, a semitone is the shortest distance from one note to the next. So if you're writing a diatonic semitone below C, it's going to have a B in the answer. And because there's no black key between C and B, your answer is B. So C to B is a diatonic semitone. Number 21, you're writing a chromatic semitone above these notes. Remember, a chromatic semitone is going to have a common letter name or the same letter name. Whatever is given is going to be the note name that you're using. Our first note that's given is a C. So we're going to have a chromatic semitone above the C would be C sharp. Be careful when you're writing a chromatic semitone above a note that has a flat. because you'll probably have to write a natural there. Let's look at page 28 next. Question 22 says write a chromatic semitone below each note. Do not change the given note because a chromatic semitone is going to have the same letter name. And after you've done that, you can name the notes. Again, be careful. You will probably have to use some accidentals, maybe some naturals, maybe some flats, but don't forget that an accidental carries for the whole measure. Number 23, on the keyboard, play a diatonic semitone above each note and then write it on the staff. When you play them on the keyboard, there's absolutely no difference between the sound of a diatonic semitone and a chromatic semitone. The only difference is how you write it. In the first example, we have a G, and we need a diatonic semitone above that G. So we know that it has to have a different letter name. So that means that we know that we're going to have to use an A. But G to A is a whole tone. For that to be a semitone, the A would have to be A flat. Number 24, on the keyboard, play a chromatic semitone above each note. Then write it on the staff. This time it's going to have the same or a common letter name. And we're going above. We know it's going to be B to B something. For the first question, it would be B to B sharp. Number 24, you're going to play a diatonic semitone below each note. Remember that that means that it's going to have a different letter name and it's going to be one note lower than what's given. On page 29, number 26, this is a little bit tricky. This is a good example of why it's necessary to read the instructions very carefully. To the left of the given note, you're going to write a chromatic semitone below. In our first example, we have an A. So a chromatic semitone below A would be A flat. It has to have the same letter name. Now be careful because we're going to have to write a natural sign in front of this given A. Otherwise, it would be A flat, right? So you write a natural sign in front of the A, and then you're going to write a diatonic semitone above the A natural. That means we go up one letter name and one note, so it's going to be B. But A to B is a tone, so it has to be B flat. Number 27, play each of the given semitones at the keyboard. Below the staff, identify the semitones as follows. Place a DS for diatonic semitone above the bars that have diatonic semitones, and a CS above the bars with chromatic semitones. Circle the note pairs that are not diatonic or chromatic semitones. Let's take a look at page 31. Number 28. Play each of the following examples at the keyboard and be sure to see and hear that each pair is a whole tone. So this is really a playing and listening exercise. Number 29. Write the note that's a whole tone above the given note. Remember that a whole tone is equal to two semitones. Now when you're writing a whole tone above the given note, it means you're going up one note or one note name. In our first example, we have a G. The answer must have an A in it. And in this case, G to A would be a whole tone. So A would be our answer. Number 30, write the note that's a whole tone below the given note. Again, we're going to need to use the one note name below and one note below. So the answer would be a B. C to B is only a semitone though. So we would have to make the B B flat. C to B flat would be a whole tone. On page 32, number 31, you're going to copy the following exercise and change any one note in each measure to create a whole tone. You can choose which one you want to change, but you can only change one note. Number 32. Play each of the given examples at the keyboard and draw a circle around each whole tone. And number 33, play the given examples at the keyboard and mark each whole tone with a bracket. That's very similar to what you're doing in number 32. Here's a list of what your assignment is this week. On page 22, if you could do numbers 13 and 14, page 23, number 15 and 16, page 24, number 17, lines 1 and 3, and number 18, page 26, number 19, page 27, numbers 21 and 22, page 28, numbers 23, 24, and 25, page 29, numbers 26 and 27, page 31, number 28, the first line, number 29, the second line, and number 30, the second line, and page 32, numbers 31, 32, and 33. Remember, enharmonic notes have the same sound, but a different name. A chromatic semitone has a common letter name, and a diatonic semitone has a different name. A whole tone is simply two semitones and one note name. Make sure you read the instructions very carefully. Use a highlighter if that helps you to remember key points in the question. Once you've completed your assignments, can you scan and send them to me, and I will check them and scan and send them back to you. So then check your inbox for your marked assignments. I hope to see you at Theory Club this week, and if you have any trouble with your assignments, just let me know because I'm here to help you every step of the way. Have a super duper week. Bye.